You're listening to an episode of the Abigail Pugh podcast with, you guessed it, Abigail Pugh. I'm an introverted mama who took my online business from 0 to 7 figures in 15 months selling my own digital products on social media. And guess what? I did it all with my 3-year-old daughter no less than 3 feet away from me at all times. Now I'm bringing you everything I've learned about building a wildly profitable online business that supports your life while allowing you to truly live it. Get ready for raw, honest conversations with entrepreneurs making thousands per month selling their own digital products and people just like you who ditch self-doubt to create the life they've always wanted. If you're ready to make more money, have more impact, and still have time for the things that matter most, you're in the right place. Grab your sneakers, head out on your hot girl walk, and let's dive in. Y'all are always asking me for examples of digital products because I truly believe that any niche or passion can be turned into a digital product. So for today, I will be interviewing one of my students, Mackenzie, also known as Beachy Therapist over on Instagram. Cutest name ever, I know. But today we're going to be focusing on her Instagram growth and what that has done for her digital business. So Mackenzie is a California-based relationship therapist, hence her cute name, Beachy Therapist, who specializes in helping couples turn conflict into connection and create depth in their relationships. So, Mackenzie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. Me too. She said that she had a dream about our episode recording last night. Was it a good dream? Hopefully you're excited.
There was a little stress to it because, again, I'm not a morning person like you. So I was like, even 10:30, I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. Like, I'm going to wake up at 9. Like, I'm going to be fine.
Right? That's our whole reason for building our own businesses so that we don't have to wake up early. I love it.
Never again, honestly.
Yeah, same. So I love to start these episodes off with just kind of you telling us your entrepreneurial journey and what it took to get there, because I know a lot of people online promote this idea of overnight success and only working 2 hours a day, and we just aren't about that here in my community.
Right.
We are here to be honest and open about what it takes to actually build these types of businesses, and what it takes to build our dream business, but also our dream life, because I don't think there's like any point to building this dream business if it's gonna, take you away from your life as well. So, Mackenzie, tell us a little bit about your journey with your digital business.
Totally. So I guess it would have to start back to when I was starting to become a therapist. I've always dreamed of having my own private practice. I've always dreamed of being my own boss. I always knew that was going to be my future. I just wasn't sure exactly how I was going to get there. So after COVID, my husband and I, we were engaged at the time, and he really pushed me to start my hours, start like working on my therapy hours. For those of you that don't know, you have to do 3,000 hours to sit for your exam, to then become licensed, to then own your own business. So right now, I'm not even still on my own. I'm very close to taking my test. I already turned in my hours, so that's really good. But I even have a supervisor still, and I've been working for 3 years. So if that gives you any concept of the amount of time that it takes. So I think I found you about a year ago. I think I found you around, I think it was like summer of last year, if I'm remembering correctly, because I started my Instagram on May 1st of 2023. So it's been about a year and a couple months at this point. So when I found you, I was like, that is a really cool way, to supplement the income that I already have. I have a job. It's not like I don't want to quit this job. I don't want to necessarily even like change course. But I'd like to create a course, which would be amazing. So I was like, let's try that. So I think I'm not sure which digital product I bought from you first, but I think it was Instagram growth for sales. And I'm talking like I went from 200 followers that were literally my friends and family that were like, oh, cute, you're starting an Instagram. That's like for your therapy.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. And I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. I mean, I was doing a dingy, like, tour of my office. I was doing, like, breathe for 4 seconds. And, like, nobody's watching it. Like, my mom was like, hi, and, like, commenting on it. And I was just like, I don't know what to do here. Like, I see all these creators that are, obviously creating content that's, like, even more elevated than mine at this point. But I'm like, how do you even get there? Like, what are the steps to even get there? And I think what the Instagram growth for sales did for me, it grew my Instagram from 200 to like 20,000 within the year, which is insane. And people would ask me, they would be like, how did you do it? Like, that's crazy. Like, did you pay for your followers? Like, do you
Oh my
have like one?
gosh.
And I was like, no, it's Abigail. And I would just like send them your handle. Like the
Aw.
amount of people that I have sent your handle to because I'm like, it wasn't me, it was Abigail. Like, I did not do this. Like,
No, you put in the work.
I just listened to directions. That
Aw.
was it. So I feel like that in particular was life changing because with my growth of my Instagram, my business has grown.
Hmm.
And that return on investment, like just being real, like having a client reach out from Instagram and say, I love your stuff. I want to talk to you. I feel like I know your personality. I feel like we vibe. I want you to be my therapist. That ROI, if they see me for a year, that's thousands of dollars. That's
That's
thousands of dollars.
crazy.
And it's somebody getting the help that they need or
Yep.
the support that they need, which is exactly what I want to do. It's not, obviously I have to make money because I'm a human and I live in America. But if I could give free therapy to everybody, I would. But there is that business side of like, I do need to have a certain amount of clients. I do need to maintain this so that I can continue working in this space and I don't have to go get an office job or something else.
Yeah.
So I want to be doing this work and I do have to be making money and I do have to have an influx of clients. And
Yeah.
I think honestly, that is like the number one thing that your digital products have taught me about just growing myself and selling myself because
Yeah.
I've done all the trainings every other therapist has done, maybe a few niche
Mhm.
ones that I'm really interested in. But again, what I'm teaching and like the message that I'm putting out is not different from some of the other therapists. I
Yeah.
follow those therapists because they have the same, they go the EFT route or they go the Gottman route, which is two really popular ways of going about couples therapy. They're
Hmm.
giving the same message, they just have a different
Yeah.
personality than me. So it's like, and you have to connect with your therapist. So
Yep.
it was really, really cool for me to learn that I am just like selling myself. And once that switched, I felt more special. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, like I can do this. And yeah, I have the same information, but I'm maybe not going to deliver it the same way that this other therapist
Yep.
is, or connect with somebody in the same way that maybe this other therapist has. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question. I feel like I just told the whole story.
Absolutely. No, I love it. And I think it goes back to like so many people are afraid to be themselves and show up and connect as themselves. But like that's why people choose to work with you. Like she said,
Mhm.
like her education and everything that she's learning, it's the same education that everybody else is learning, right? So the way that she's going to stand out is by being herself. And that is kind of the core of what I teach and everything that I teach is showing up as yourself and letting people really connect to you, not just like the content that you're putting out. Right? Like, I think the content is important. You need to give them quick wins and educate them on things, but like from a personal standpoint. And it makes content honestly so much easier because you're kind of just sharing your life through the lens of your business. And it makes it so much easier to create content. So I love that. Now, I know that you had mentioned it really helped, like your Instagram growth helped you get more clients, but did it also help with like partnerships? I'm so curious about that. I'm not big in the world of like partnerships or brand deals or things like that, but I would assume that that's something maybe you kind of took advantage of. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm actually just starting to kind of actually get ones that are interesting to me. So in the beginning, when you first kind of start to get maybe 10K or maybe like 14K, you get a lot of weird messages from like bike companies are like, we want to send you a bike and please post about it. I'm like, I don't ride bikes, so I'm not going for that.
That's so random.
Yeah, it's really random. So I think just now I'm starting to get offers from places that I actually would want to partner with.
Yeah.
I think that is super important. It also helps your brand because you're not deviating from like your personality and who
Yep.
you are and the products that you actually use on a daily basis. I think it might be attractive for people to just take every opportunity they get in their email,
Hmm.
but be wary of scams, be wary of things that don't match your brand because it's just not going to work. The
Yeah.
people that are following you are not even going to be interested in that bike
Yeah.
like
No.
at all. So go with the things that are actually working for you and that you maybe even use in your daily life. So one really cool collaboration that I started with is with a travel company. So I think I caught their eye because of my content being at the beach and it being really like relaxing and kind of romantic and kind of this like lighter brighter kind of brand. And they were like, we would love to partner with you if you wanted to do like a couples retreat or something. And I'm like, absolutely. I would love that. Like, that has been a dream of mine. I thought that was way in the future. I had no idea that that was going to come knocking on my door like now.
Yeah.
So it has challenged me to be a different me because I am
Yeah.
kind of, I'm selling it, but I'm also like so excited for it. And I'm so excited that I'm going to basically have like a long weekend with some couples that really want to dive into connecting with each other and just maybe like reigniting that spark or have a new relationship or a new marriage that needs to just have a little boost.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. That was probably one of my favorite collaborations that I've done so far. And yeah, it's coming up. So I'm really excited about it.
That's so cool. Yeah, I feel like with collaborations or brand deals, sponsorships, whatever you want to call them, I'm so picky as well, right? Like I never want it to be something that doesn't align with my audience. So like I think I've only done a few. Like I'm a Stan Store ambassador. I have a Flowdesk affiliate link, and those are things that I'm like actually using in my business, right? ManyChat, I have an affiliate link for that. But I don't do a lot of like sponsorships because I feel like if you do too many, it kind of takes away from the vibe of the page, which is you and showing up authentically and kind of just sharing. So those are hard for me. And I have a really hard time. Like, I really want it to be applicable to everyone that follows me. So, like you said, I get the most random things and they'll send me a message or an email saying, like, oh, we thought you would love this. Like one time I got like a boob enhancing bra they were like,
Oh
your
my
audience would love
goodness.
it. And I was like, are you looking at the same Instagram? Like what?
You're like, yeah, you're like not walking around with my shirt off. I wear sweatshirt and a hat. Like,
I know. It made me laugh so hard. I was like, do you think they even read it? Like
I know.
so, and like your audience feels it when you're just trying to do something for money. Like I know that creators
Right.
and entrepreneurs, like we got to make money. Like that's our job as a business owner is to create revenue. But like there's ways to do it that naturally align. Like, so like you said, doing this couples retreat, it makes total sense to do this collaboration. And like what a fun thing for your clients too, to be able to like go on something like that. So that's amazing. You guys just have to be like very careful with the partnerships that you do take on. And I'm always so nervous about it. Like I freak out that I'm like not going to be able to come off as authentic. And like I have years of
Right.
experience as a UGC creator, like creating content for brands. And I still get so nervous because you're like, I just want people to know that I truly love it. It's not just this like, oh, just go buy this random bra.
Yeah, totally. And I think like a way to like ethically, like if some of maybe your students want to get into this, something that I've noticed is to just naturally start posting the things that you use every day so
Yep.
that it is ethical and it is true to yourself. So it's
Yep.
like, I have this protein powder. Sometimes I'll just post it or I'll make a video of me making my protein coffee with it. And I'm just like, love this brand, like no partnership, just love this brand.
Yep.
And the brand will either notice or they won't, well, either way. But your viewers and everybody that's following you is going to see like, oh, she uses that. Like that's
Yep.
every day. And it's not like little paid partnership, like hashtag. So
Yep.
I think that that can even build credibility if you are wanting to go in that route. And I'll do that sometimes. I've yet to have a random brand be like, thank you so much. Like, let's partner. I've had them repost me, which is
Yeah.
really cool. So that's awesome. But at this point, yeah, I'm not really going after brand deals in
Yeah.
particular, but I love collaborating with places that actually align with like who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, you've done the Instagram growth. You are growing like your not physical business, or did you get a lot of in-person clients still?
I would say it's like half and half right now. I have some people that are like, need in person, not going to see you if this is a
Yeah.
drive or like this is too far for me. And then I have some people that literally live down the street and prefer to do virtual. So it really just depends. It's like kind of half and half right now. It ebbs and flows.
Yeah. So, are you looking when you're done with your hours and everything like that and starting your own business, are you looking to then get into more to the digital side of it? Like, how are you trying to take this more digital?
Yeah. So I am hopeful that I'll be able to take my test in like September. So the week after that, I'm going to hop on LegalZoom and make my own business. um, and so hopefully, by October, I'm on my own. But kind of what I'm looking forward to is I really kind of want to hit this year hard in my business. And digitally, I want that to build in a way that when I do start to have kids, because I don't have any kids yet, but we talk about it like every week. So it's definitely coming soon. Those feelings when they start to come up, you're
Yes.
like, oh, I think it's time. So I know that that's kind of around the corner for us. And I'm really excited to be able to lean in to all the skills I've learned, not only through making digital products like through you and your courses, but also marketing myself in a way that I can be selective, about how much I work, who I work with, so that it's the easiest possible thing when I am becoming a mom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most looking forward to, because right now I can hustle. Right now I got lots of energy.
Yep.
I don't have anybody, small humans running around. Sorry for the people that are listening that are like, oh, that sounds so nice, but it's coming soon. I know it's coming soon for me. So I just am really like, I'm almost like prepping for it. Like,
Hmm.
okay, I know what to do when that happens. I can totally lean into that side. Maybe I could even I want to make more of a long form e-course. I'm really excited about that. I haven't done it yet because I am focusing on kind of like my clients right now, but I know once that bug hits me, I'm going to be going back to your boot camp and I'm gonna be like, okay, how am I going to do this? And what platform am I going to use? And can't wait to make my Stand Store link and all that. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's so fun to get all that done before kids.
Yeah, totally.
I owned my own business before I had my daughter, but like I started all this, how old was she? Maybe around 2.
Hmm.
So it was a lot of grinding when she was sleeping or when she was napping. And just the other day, somebody asked me to do an episode on, how to be an entrepreneur when you have kids. And I'm not going to lie, like the beginning stages when you're getting your system set up, like it's hard. It's hard. And
Yeah.
even now to this day, it's still hard. Like there are
Yeah.
days like today, it was so hard to leave the house. My daughter didn't want me to leave. We went on a trip last week, so I was with her like every single day. I didn't go to my co-working space the 1 or 2 times that I sometimes go during the week. And so we had just like woken up and done everything together for 7 days straight. And so leaving even for I'm gone for like 4 hours today was so hard on her, but I built so much of that when she was little. And I kind of built all the systems when she was little, but if you're listening and you're not a parent or a mom yet and you
Do
want
it
to be,
now.
do it now.
Do it now.
Not to say it won't be hard when you do have them, but it's just so much better when you set it all up first, and then you're kind of like scaling and growing and learning new things, but not doing those beginning things that it really does take a grind. Like there's so
It
much grind
does.
in the beginning, and anyone who is telling you that, oh, just work 2 hours a day, like no, that's
Mm-mm.
BS. Like, are there some days that you do get to not work or work 2 hours? Yeah, maybe depending on how you build your business, absolutely. But like as a business owner, there is never like a time where you don't have to show up. Like, even if it's
Right.
just like a small amount on vacation, like we are able to do so much because of my business, but like I still show up for my business when we go places and I love it and I'm passionate about it. So it's wonderful for me. But like it is something that you are constantly working on and evolving. And I think social media has made it seem like digital products are like get rich quick scheme. And it is just
Mhm.
not. Like, are they
It's
incredible?
not.
Yes. Have they changed my life? Yes. But like you still have to put this effort and this work in.
Yeah.
And anyone who's telling you otherwise is lying to you. So,
Yeah, and trying to steal your money. That's
yep,
what's happening.
probably.
Yeah, because like, the amount of times because I have ManyChat, Flowdesk, StanStore.
Hmm.
StanStore by far is super easy, super
Yeah.
intuitive, and Flowdesk and ManyChat are too, but you have to get used to them.
Yeah. a
So
hundred
I've
percent.
noticed, especially with ManyChat, I'm like, "What are all these bubbles?" Like,
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing. I would, like, pull my computer out and be like, "Husband, can you please help me?" Like, I do not know what this means. There
Yeah.
was one time I could not figure out for the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but we spent like 20, 30 minutes on it. And then once it clicked, I was like, "Oh."
Yep.
And then it's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, these systems, and they take a while to set up, the email and the connection to your Meta and like all of that.
Yep.
But I'm so glad that I have that now, because now anytime anybody comments retreat on one of my posts or in my messages, guess what? They get immediate info
Yep.
about my retreat, which is so cool. I do not have to be a slave to my DMs, like chatting with everybody about it and writing something new every time. Like,
Yep.
I've written in my personality and everything. It's
Yep.
a message from me. It is. It's not a computer. It was me. I was typing it. Which I love that. I love the
Yeah.
personalization of all those things. So
And I totally agree. There's a lot of setup at the beginning
yeah.
for things. And like when I first started ManyChat, I was so overwhelmed and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And now I can set up an automation in like 3 minutes.
5 seconds.
Like
Yeah.
it's so easy and it's done. It's quick. The same with Flowdesk. Like I will say Stan is definitely the most intuitive. But even Stan, like I know everything about it. And I feel sometimes like I'm like the Stan customer support. People ask me questions and I'm like, you guys, they have an FAQ page, but I mean, I know the answer, so I'm just gonna tell you
I'm
really
just going to
quick.
type it out. Yeah, exactly.
I've tried it all, but like it is like it takes time to learn. And I say this all the time, but like it's not hard, it's just new. And like new things feel
Exactly.
so freaking hard, even for me as someone who just did something new with my podcast. Like there were things in here that felt so freaking hard for me in the first week. And now I'm like, oh, easy peasy, I got this. And now I'm about to launch my Rich Girl community. Like this is all new to me. Like, yes, I've launched before, but like I've never done a community like this. So it feels scary and overwhelming. And I just keep reminding myself it's not hard, it's just new. And eventually it will feel natural and it will feel so much easier down the line when I kind of know what I am doing. So if you guys are newbies, it's normal to feel like that in anything new that you're doing. It's totally normal to feel like that.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
Okay, so let's dive into a few tangible things that you did that worked really well when you were growing your Instagram. Because you said you grew from, can you remind me kind of the general
It was
growth?
like, I think it was maybe in the 300s. I was stuck there. Like
300
I was stuck.
followers?
Yeah. 300 followers. Maybe 500. I can't really exactly remember. It was low.
Under 1,000.
Yes. Under 1,000 for
Okay.
sure. For sure.
So
And
these are
like,
not like specific numbers, you guys. We are just guesstimating what she is remembering.
just a guess. Yeah. And then I think by May 1st, like on my like 1 year, I think I had 27,000
Oh, wow.
if I look back at my screenshot, which you were the one that taught me to like screenshot so that you
Yes,
can look back
everything.
at it. I'm so glad I did. I think I have one from the beginning, but I'd have to like look back in my phone.
Yeah.
But some tangible things that I did is I mean, I got your Rich Girl Reels because everybody needs to buy Rich Girl Reels. Like if you are
Oh
on
my
this
gosh.
podcast right now and you have not gotten it, just grab it if it's available. I'm not sure if it's like
It
sitting
is.
there. Okay, good. It is the easiest, most straightforward thing I have ever used. Like seriously, you organized that so well that
Thank you.
I could execute that when I was literally again making like really bad tour of my office videos. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I really tried to simplify them because I
It
know
was
Reels,
so
like
simple.
my brain works backwards. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to work backward. And I've actually had like a few people with ADHD tell me that like it was super helpful the way I lined it up because I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but like I feel like maybe I have it. I don't know. I should
You want to
probably
talk about
see.
it? I'm just kidding.
I have a lot of the tendencies and so I get like
Right.
very easily distracted. So the way I did Rich Girl Reels was like everything's in order. So like first the reason you're making the reel. Next, here's an example. Next, here's the audio. Like it goes in order that your brain do it and it kind of teaches your brain to go in that order every single time. So I was very intentional with that. But keep going, keep going.
Honestly, yeah, it worked because I was able to do it. I was able to do it quickly.
Yep.
There were maybe a few days that I would skip and come back to, like if I couldn't do a talking head that
Yeah.
day, or yeah, I was like, this is hair wash day. That's just like so not happening. I'm skipping to day 8. Like I would do that, but I went through that. I think I almost did all of them in a row, and I grew. It just grew. It just
Yeah.
people were attracted to it. I had an answer to their problem.
Yep.
I showed my personality. And to be honest, I think Rich Girl Reels gave me so much more than 30 reels to do because it inspired me and it started giving me like I would have like a tangent idea that would
Yep.
then turn into my own original reel that would then go viral. And
Yep.
then I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody taught me to do that one. That one was mine. And
it's the best feeling. I love it.
Crazy. It was crazy. And so I started to, and then again, what you teach is like, do what works. If you have something that is working, and I think you and I even DM'd about it, you were like, repeat what you did. Like people like that. They want to see that. They want to share that. They want to repost it. Whatever it is they're doing with it, they want it.
Yeah.
So I just started like, kind of maybe like once every couple weeks, I would redo the reel that really worked for me in a new way. Like I would kind of like revamp it and maybe put a different message to it, or maybe even just have it speak to somebody else. And it worked. Like, I'm
That's
like millions of views. Like, my top reel has
crazy.
5 million views.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
that's insane. Like, I can't even, I like had a glitch in the system. I was like, is this like happening? Like,
Oh my gosh.
and my husband would check it every day and he'd be like, honey, it's up to this. And I'd be like, I can't even handle it. Like, I would be like, I don't know who made that, but it wasn't me. Like, I like wanted to like remove myself from it because it was
Oh my
so
gosh.
insane to even think that that many people had seen it and then been impacted by it and shared it that many
Yeah.
times. And like, yeah, I even just get emotional like thinking about it. Like, that's
Oh.
crazy that I've been able to instill like the connection and love that I'm
Yep.
trying to put out there for couples, and how it seriously changed my life once I started to change things in my marriage. And I just wanted to pass that on. Like, I
Yeah.
just want everybody else to feel that way. So it was just really cool. So that's what I did. I followed your Rich Girl Reels, and then I got inspired and I started to feel
Yep.
creative on my own. And I started to just put myself out there in different ways and make different kinds of reels and make original content as well
Yep.
as content that works for other people, because that's totally fine. You can do both. And that's what worked for me. And here I am.
I love that. I feel like the name of it, so Rich Girl Reels, right? Like I created it with the intention to teach people how to make conversion reels, right?
Right.
But like
Yeah,
it's more than just that. It's
it
showing,
is.
it's connecting, and it's like genuinely showing up as yourself. And I think people skip that a lot of the time where they're like, "Oh, one reel did really well." And I'm like, "Yeah, but everything else looks like everything else. Like change it up a little
Yeah,
bit, try something new." And then like you said, when something's working, double down on it, like create it in a different way. It means people resonated with that message. And like
totally.
we post something and we're like, oh my gosh, everybody saw this. And in the reality, a very small percentage of your following saw it. And I'm the same way. I'm like, oh my God, I used this B-roll video 2 months ago. Everybody's going to remember
No,
it. I'm like, nobody remembers, Abby.
nobody
Just post
notices.
it, use it again. You don't have anything else today. We
Yeah.
get so in our head about that. So I love that. Now, before we get off this call, I would love to know one piece of advice that you have for someone who is starting something new. Maybe they are starting their Instagram where you were at, where it's just their mom cheering them on. I mean, that's how we all started. It was my
It
mom and
is.
my husband
It
liking all my
truly
posts,
is. Yeah.
putting questions in my question box. Like, what piece of advice would you have for them to not feel discouraged and kind of like not play this comparison game? Because I know I still do it. I still compare myself to other people,
Yeah.
and it's hard in the beginning. So, what advice would you have
Yeah.
for them?
Just do it. Just do it and stay consistent. I think that's something that I see maybe with like smaller following accounts is they'll hit it hard for a week
Mhm.
and then they are like, I'm done. This is embarrassing, or
Yeah.
I'm not going to continue to put stuff out. Or they don't change anything about,
Yeah.
okay, if it's not working for you, then you obviously need to like switch it up a little bit. Niche down, niche down, niche down. I did
Yeah.
not want to. I was like, no, I'm just going to be a therapist. Mental health. Girl, let me tell you, you cannot be mental health general on
Yeah.
Instagram.
The more
You
specific,
can,
the better.
but they already exist. So just
Yeah.
be wary that that's what you're competing with. So make it niche and make it about you. What can you actually help with? What are you so good at that you could talk about it for hours? Like, what is that thing? And go for that rather than what you maybe think you have to do. Because
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I started to do the therapy Instagram. I knew it would be good for my business. I knew that if I grew it like this, like that is so good for me. And half of me, like maybe a couple months in, I was like, I'm going to switch it to cooking because I love cooking. But that is so not
Oh
my job.
gosh.
And that gets
Yeah.
us no money whatsoever. And I'm not an expert in it. I just throw something together and my husband says it's the best thing he's ever eaten. But I don't know if that's true. So I had this moment of like, I'm going to change. You don't need to change
Yeah.
unless that change is like really what you need.
Yeah.
Don't psych yourself out. Do the thing that you're good at.
Yep.
Even if 100 people are listening, even if it's your mom and your besties and that's it. And also don't make content for them. So once I
Yep.
stopped making content for them, like, oh, I know she's going through this. Maybe I'll make it about this. And I started making it for the general public that I wanted to reach,
Hmm.
like the population that I wanted to reach.
Yep.
Boom. Amazing. So those are my advices. I don't know. I gave a lot.
No, I love it. I feel like the more advice, the better. And I feel like people needed to hear that about the niching. I will say with that, like niching down doesn't mean you can't ever talk about anything else, you
Right.
guys. Like this weekend, I wanted to make homemade popcorn and my husband was supposed to get ghee and he got tallow instead. And I like posted that on my story. That has nothing to do with what I do. Nothing, right? It doesn't mean you can't like use your stories and have a little bit of fun with things, right? Like I definitely
Totally.
recommend keeping like your feed as like niched as possible. Again, that's not to say like if you go on vacation and you do a fun vacation reel, post it. Of course, like that's fun. People want to see you in your life. But like if every single reel is like that or every single post, like that's where the issue happens when people aren't clear what you do. But like you can let your personality be interjected into your business. Like that's totally okay. I do it all the time. I post hard things in my stories. I post things that are good going in my life. Like it's not always like so specific to your niche. So yes, niche down for like the overall vibe of your page, but like let your personality shine through. The amount of responses I had from people saying like, oh my God, let me know if your popcorn tastes like beef. Like from people that had never
Yeah.
DM'd me before. And like, I'm obviously not a cooking or baking Instagram
Right.
at all, but like, I just shared like a small part of my day. And like, I asked them, I was like, so do we think this is going to taste like beef, you guys? Like, what's going on?
Right.
I
Is this
didn't just
chicken
like,
flavored? Like,
yep.
what are we doing here? Yeah.
Like I made a
Yeah.
joke that I would make in real life, but I just did it on Instagram, right? So like
Right.
niching down doesn't have to be scary. Doesn't mean like I tell people when they're trying to decide on their digital product, like what's something you can talk about every single day for the next 5 years. But like that doesn't mean you can't talk about other things, right? It just needs to be something that you are so passionate about. Like I wake up thinking about what I do. And I know a lot of my students do, especially a lot of the successful ones, because like they love what they do and nothing will stop them from helping other people with that. So that's my last note on that. Mackenzie, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you let everyone know where they can find you and kind of what you have to offer in case they want to work with you?
Yeah, totally. So you can find me on Instagram at Beachy Therapist, and I have I have a few therapy spots open, but I can only see clients that are California residents. So if you live in the state of California and you're not in my area, but you would like to like, maybe schedule a consultation with me, you can just find it in the link in my bio or DM me directly. I'm pretty active in my DMs. Despite my following, I can pretty much reply to everybody. So that's really cool. I feel like people don't realize that you don't get an overwhelming amount. So you can find me there. And then I also am hosting a couples retreat in August. It'll be August 8th through 11th, and it will be located here in Southern California at the beach, of course, in this amazing little tiny cute boutique hotel. It's going to be the best weekend ever. I have a few spots available for that as well. And I have a few discount offers as well if you DM me directly about it. So don't just book it, DM me, talk to me about it, and then I'll give you that discount. But that's open to everybody. You don't have to live in the state of California to come to that. You can definitely travel to it if you want to. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. If anybody wants to join, meet me there at the
Awesome.
beach.
Amazing. You are the best. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and my guests today. If you learned anything from our episode, I would love it if you could share it over on your Instagram stories and tag me at Abigail Pugh. Until next time, love you, mean it.